Hello and welcome to Live with Hillsdale Hospital. Today is Wednesday, August 20th. August. So kids are in school, right? This week?
Yeah. Around here, yes.
Around
Hudson's
here.
next week.
Oh, Hudson gets
Yeah.
next week. All right. But around here, school is back in and it's August 20th. So moms and dads, if you're home, finally you get a break. Now you're tuning into Hillsdale Hospital Live. Isn't that fantastic? And we're here to bring you our friends, our neighbors, information and to keep you up to date on what's happening in healthcare right here in Hillsdale County each and every week that we are broadcasting live. It is a great pleasure to have in the studio today Meghan Campbell. And Meghan is our Chief Nursing Executive or Chief Nursing Officer. And she joins me today. And I'm your host, JJ Hodshire, President and Chief Executive Officer of Hillsdale Hospital. I have the pleasure of working with Meghan almost every day on issues that we're addressing. But let's talk about something fun because we deal with a lot of heavy issues in our jobs, Meghan. So first of all, for the listener who may not know you, could you just give an overview of how you started your journey, where you went to college, how long you've worked here, and go through that?
Absolutely. So I went to college at Northwest State Community College in Archbold, Ohio.
Yeah.
I graduated from there with my associates in nursing. I worked very briefly in a long-term care skilled nursing facility in Ohio before I started here, and the vast majority of my career has been here at Hillsdale Hospital. I started on med-surg as a nurse. And then one of the great things about working here at Hillsdale and on med-surg is that I had lots of opportunities to learn and grow. So I was kind of the unofficial float nurse. I was one of the people who liked that opportunity to get to go to other departments and learn. So I got to work a little bit of everywhere, which transitioned very nicely to my role as a house supervisor because I knew a little bit about everywhere. So I started working in supervision and kind of overseeing how things run here at the hospital. Then I became the charge nurse of med-surg and ICU. I took a role in infection control. I worked there very briefly.
Yeah, that was a brief role.
I missed patient care.
Yeah. And we've had Randy Howland on this program before. It takes a special character to be able to do that job. And it's a lot of work. It's very tough, a lot to learn.
It is.
Very rigorous.
It is.
Yeah. So you did a little stint there.
Yeah, and I found that patient care is my passion.
Yeah.
And I like being able to take care of our patients and take care of our nurses who take care of our patients. So I went back and became the manager of med-surg and ICU. I did that for 4 years before I stepped into the chief nursing officer role. I've been in this role for going on 4 years now.
Has it been 4 years? Wow.
4 years in September.
So obviously a nurse that you are, a nurse at heart, your passion is nursing. We're here to talk about nursing today and the importance that nursing plays in our hospital. Now, without nurses, we wouldn't have a hospital.
That is correct.
And so hospitals across the country are facing nurse shortages right now. Every hospital. You cannot point to a hospital that is plentiful of nurses. Everyone is struggling. The pandemic intensified the outmigration of nursing. In fact, people left the field altogether to do other things and pursue other careers. And so the schools weren't producing them quick enough. Some schools either closed, other schools had a very limited amount of people that were accepted into the program. Anyway, long story short, here we arrive, 2025, major shortage across the country. There's going to be an expected even greater shortage by 2032, they're saying, as the generation retires. Significant concerns. So first, let's talk about what is nursing at Hillsdale Hospital. What does it look like? Is it all just standard? Are there specialties? Let's just talk about the importance of nursing and providing a hospital. Can you let our listeners know that?
Absolutely. So nursing, I might be a little partial, but I think it's the heart of healthcare. They are the ones who are at the bedside ensuring that our patients get the care that they need. The doctors come and see the patients, and we're very blessed to have such wonderful doctors here. But the nurses are the ones who are, 24/7 taking care of those patients and making sure those orders are followed and that the patients are well cared for and have everything. And I think that here at Hillsdale, we're very lucky and very blessed that we are serving our community truly. We're serving our patients or our neighbors and our family members and our loved ones. And I think that our nurses here take that to heart.
Yeah, it's purpose.
Absolutely.
It's mission-minded work.
Very
It's
much.
passionate work that they
It
have.
is.
And we see it, and we hear our patients talk. Patients leave here that have gone to bigger facilities
Yes.
and have said, it's just different at Hillsdale.
Very much
And
so.
I had a physician share with me last night. She texted me and said, this is something special that we're doing at Hillsdale. And I firmly believe that. If you look at healthcare across the country, it looks different. But rural health, it's special. It's the people we know. It's the people we go to school with, go to church with. It's the people we see in the grocery store. It can be, a wonderful place that someone could spend the rest of their life in a career.
Absolutely.
So speaking of careers, do you want to dive into each of the specialty areas of nursing? Because a nurse isn't a nurse per se.
Well, and I think there's a bit of a misconception that because we are a smaller rural hospital that maybe our skill set is lesser than the bigger hospitals.
I would disagree.
But I think it's the complete opposite.
agree.
We have nurses who come from bigger hospitals and they are shocked at
They're
what we do here.
overwhelmed. They're like, you do all that? Nurses do that?
We do it
We
all
have a
here.
tech for that. We have a this for that.
Yeah.
And
I
we're
think
doing it.
it's a really great way to build your skill set.
Agree.
And we actually have a lot of services here. So we have to be very well rounded. So we have emergency room. We have emergency room nurses. They have a lot of certifications that they go through to make sure that our patients who come into the ER are being very well cared for. So we take education very seriously. So we have ER. Then we have our med surg nurses who, gotta love a med surg nurse.
I mean, it's the heart of what you've done.
Truly,
right?
yes. Yeah. And our med surg nurses are amazing, and that I think is where our patients truly feel.
And that's historically where a nurse starts off, right?
Yeah, it's where you.
So I mean, you don't typically start in ER if you're a brand new nurse,
right?
Typically, you don't start in OB. You start in medical surgical, and that's really where it all happens.
Yeah,
you're recovering patients from surgery.
You're getting surgical.
You're dealing
patients,
with individuals that are
patients.
extremely ill.
Mm-hmm.
They have specialists coming in and rounding on them from
Mm-hmm.
pulmonology. Individuals that need vascular surgery that are being recovered, individuals from every organization. If you think
Mm-hmm.
about that we have that are specialty organizations such as orthopedics, etc., they're in a bed and a nurse has to know that's an ortho patient. She has to know that's an X patient.
Yeah.
And that's a very, critically ill patient who has emphysema.
Yeah, OB patients up here. We literally see it all. Yeah. And since we, healthcare in general has just shifted so much from even the 16 years that I've been here. So we're seeing higher acuity patients on our med surg than we used to. And, just the way we care for them, they come in, it takes a lot more to get admitted. So they come in a lot sicker than they used to. You used to have your gallbladder out, you'd be here for 5 days. And so to actually get admitted, they're a lot sicker. So our med surg nurses are very skilled and very appreciated. We also have ICU.
Mm-hmm.
So we have nurses who work in our critical care unit.
So what type of patients do we see in our ICU or CCU?
So we have intubated patients there that are on the ventilator. So they're caring for those patients. Since we started doing vascular surgeries, we have a lot of vascular surgery or patients that go there. Since we are doing neurospine surgeries, a lot of those patients are going there. And then a lot of cardiac and neurological patients that aren't going to be transferred out for some kind of major intervention, but still require critical trips. Patients who are in diabetic crisis who need insulin drips, the major kind of life-saving care, they're getting that there.
So there's misunderstanding that Hillsdale cannot take care of those patients. We're taking care of some of the sickest patients in our community.
Absolutely.
The thought process and I often hear of rural hospitals, whether it's on our podcast across the country, some are referred to as Band-Aid stations, far greater than Band-Aid stations. Our community hospitals, our rural hospitals, they're taking care of the sickest in the community. So why would we transfer a patient and why wouldn't we accept them on a medical surgical floor? Give an example.
It's very rare that we wouldn't transfer or that we wouldn't admit a patient to the medical surgical floor. The only time we would be if perhaps they'd had a surgery somewhere else and they want to, go to where their surgeon is or their doctor is or the patient requested. The thing we'd see more would be, a critical or ICU level patient. And that is just because we do have more limited beds there. We only have 4 ICU beds. So if and they're full frequently.
They are
because
almost
we
always
do
full.
take a lot of very critical patients.
Yeah, we do.
So
Yeah, we do.
sometimes we have to transfer for that. We don't have a cath lab here, a cardiac cath lab.
Yeah.
So if they require, if they're having a heart attack and they need a catheterization, we'd have to transfer out for that. Having a stroke and they're going to need some kind of.
But it's higher acuity tertiary center care.
Absolutely.
That someone would be shifted to another hospital. For everything else, we're delivering those services right here.
We have very skilled, educated, talented nurses here.
So nursing, many aspects to it. You even have, let's say, specialty nurses that go into psych, emergency department, surgery. So you don't just have to be on medical surgical. Other services and obstetrics, even nurse educators. So you can get into education as a nurse and
case
management as a nurse. The list goes on. And then leadership, supervision, and management.
Absolutely.
You have to be an RN for certain departments. So it's really vast. So there's a shortage. We know there's a crisis. We know that we're having difficulty recruiting. All hospitals are. We know that we only had 2 applicants last year for our nursing scholarship, which pays for community members that are graduating, seniors, to go to obviously receive their undergrad. They get their bachelor's degree, or they can get a associate's degree in nursing, right? But 2 applicants, Megan. I mean, I remember the days when I started here 16 years ago, we would have 30 applicants, but that's shifted over time. So what we want to appeal to today, you've talked about it's a rewarding career, it's a tough career, but there's specialty within those careers. If someone is at home today thinking, you know what, I like the notion of taking care of people, what are we as a hospital able to do for them?
Well, I think one of the really great things about working here is that we really invest in our employees, and we have great success with growing our own. So you can start in housekeeping, you can start in dietary and admitting, and just kind of get your foot in the door and see is healthcare where I want to be. Decide whether you want to become a certified nursing assistant or a CNA, and then we'll pay for you to go take the classes, and you can become a CNA. You start working on the floor as a CNA. If you decide you like that, then you can go back and become a nurse. We will pay towards your nursing career. Once you start, or even before that, if you're already in nursing school and you're looking for a job, we have what we call like our ladder program. So once you've finished your fundamentals course, if you don't want to go get your, CNA license, but you want to start working in patient care, you can start working after that fundamentals course as an aide to get that healthcare experience. It helps you
get in the door
through nursing school. And then once you get into your final semester, we have our nurse residency program. And so then you are one-on-one with a nurse, and you're learning, how to be a nurse. It's like a orientation while you're still in school, so that by the time you graduate, you take your boards, you can start working as a nurse. And you've had just a little extra training and education. And that's just one of the ways we like to try to invest in our future nurses. And then from there, there's just a lot of opportunity for growth. You can move between departments. If you start on med surg a lot of the time to build that nursing skill set, and then you can kind of specialize from there, because we do have a lot of specialties here. If you want to go into leadership, we typically hire from within.
We do.
We promote, and so our nursing supervisors have all worked here previously in various capacities and worked their way up to supervision. And same with our charge nurses, our nursing managers. Like I said, I started here as a med surg nurse, so we typically hire and promote from within. So there's a lot of opportunity for growth here.
And we're hearing a lot of healthcare profession burnout, okay? And it's happening in the provider side, physicians, nurse practitioners. We got through the pandemic. That was tough. When the pandemic started, no one knew, am I going to make it home to my family? Am I going to contract this? But we have to give care. And then we get through the pandemic, and then obviously there's a shortage of nurses, and there's a lot of burnout because they had worked long hours during COVID. They had worked many, many shifts and hours beyond what they had to work because we had to take care of patients. But we're past the burnout stage per se. I mean, it's always going to be a challenge when there is a lack of staff. to fill vacant positions. But our employees say they like working here, right?
They
I think
do.
our employee satisfaction. You want to talk a little bit about that?
So we just recently completed our Gallup survey, which
Yeah.
is a nationally recognized employee engagement survey, a completely third-party source. We have no input into that, and they answer it anonymously, tell us how they
Yep.
feel we're
We
doing.
don't pay them to do it. We don't
No.
even get to see it.
Yeah,
It's collected by a third party. We don't
Yes.
even touch it.
yeah.
And what are the employees saying?
Well, we saw increased participation. We saw increased scores. Our employees like working here.
They do.
They're happy here. They know what's expected of them. They have, long-lasting relationships here at work. They have, one of the big questions is, do you have a best friend at work? And
Yeah.
we scored very high in that this year because we support one another here. And I think that's important, especially when those days are long and hard, having somebody you can count on. So we have a very good work culture and environment here. Our employees feel very supported, I think.
Safe culture.
Safe culture.
It's obviously we provide the tools necessary to do their job. So that's another one. We've received accolades and federal as well as state recognition for being a top workplace. And you'll even hear more about that in the future. A top workplace in the state, top workplace across the country, top nursing home in the country, and the list goes on. And that's a testament to the work that our staff are engaged in. That's not because of me. That's not because of you. It's not the suits. It's because the staff are taking great care of our patients. And in return for that, we as an employer are taking care of our employees to make sure that they get cost of living adjustments, to make sure that they have the tools to do their job, to make sure that if they want to go back to get their master's or their bachelor's degree, or they want to go becoming another level, maybe they want to become a CRNA or a nurse practitioner. We've sponsored all of those. We're engaged with them to make sure that their journey for their education and their career can be done right here within the walls of this hospital. With virtual learning, you don't even have to leave, your house practically in the campus of our hospital. You can do it all there. So Meghan, I want to appeal to those who may be listening today, and maybe they're non-traditional. You're hiring non-traditional staff all the time, correct?
Absolutely.
We don't mind non-traditional staff, right?
No, and I think that we see those employees who are truly looking for a place to call home. Like, this is where I want to build my career, my future. I want to be here. One, they're very dedicated, and we love that. But they really enjoy it here because it is that family environment, and we all have a shared passion for patient care and for supporting one another. And I think it's a really great opportunity to help give people the opportunity to grow and find their passion and do what they love.
And it can be such a rewarding career for 30, 40. You won't be like Doris Worley, who's going to be celebrating almost 60 years here. But at the end of the day, it certainly is a rewarding career for decades. All right, last question. When a nurse starts here, we have a new program. It's a nurse educator program. And we do preceptorship. Talk a little bit about that process, because I want to appeal. There's going to be two appeals. Number one, the appeal is top workplace, and we'd love to have you. Great place to work, great benefits, great opportunity to connect to the local community. But then once we get you here, we don't just abandon you. And so talk a little bit about that process of mentorship, nurse education, and how we proceed with that.
Well, I think that in order to be successful and to truly have that joy and passion for what you do, you have to feel supported and educated and capable of doing your job. And so that's something that we've invested in. So we do have an amazing clinical educator who's very, very devoted to what she does. And through that program, we have like our nursing orientation. She has really built that up so that when you first start here, whether you're a brand new nurse or you're an experienced nurse, but just new to us, we're teaching you the things that are important to Hillsdale Hospital and how we do things here, what our equipment looks like, what our policies are, so that you feel like you're walking in the door and you know what's expected of you. But then for our new nurses who are, just graduating, just coming out of school and don't know exactly what to expect and what to do, she is very dedicated to supporting those nurses. She's coming in and working with them one-on-one. I just did her time card. She was here at 4 a.m. because she wants to make sure those night shifters have support. She's doing one-on-one education with equipment that we use and different procedures that maybe you don't see every day. And she's meeting with them regularly. How are you feeling? How are things going? What areas do you need more training and education on? So she's very dedicated to making sure that our new nurses have everything they need to be successful, so that they're not getting to the end of their orientation and feeling unprepared. And that beyond orientation, they still have that support person. They still have someone they can go to. And we do continue that education with all of our nurses through our competency days, through we're working on building some lunch and learn programs so that, once a month we can have education for all of our nurses. So I think making sure our nurses feel that support through education training and having the tools that they need
to do the job.
Yeah, absolutely. Something we take very seriously. And we have a really great resource in our clinical educator in that aspect.
We do. All right. So listen, there are 3 program areas that I want you to consider, our listener. Maybe you have a grandchild, a daughter, a son, a nephew. Maybe you have someone who is saying today to you, I really don't feel like I'm fulfilled in my current job. You have an opportunity to say, you know what? I just listened to a live with Hillsdale Hospital, and there is an opportunity for you to find passion and purpose in a career, and it's right here at Hillsdale. We need staff. We need staff who are committed to our community, who want to engage with our patients and want to have a rewarding career, great opportunity to connect, great opportunity to receive education and training. I want you to tell your loved one that this is the place. They need to apply at hillsdalehospital.com under the careers tab. Okay. That's the conversation that I want you to have with your loved ones today. There's another program area. The program area that I want to discuss is relative to our allied health program as we look at graduating seniors. If you know of a graduating senior next year, so in other words, they've started the school year just today or tomorrow or yesterday, they start their careers next week, whatever it is, they're a senior. We have an application process that's historically due by February 14th. And that is an application process for you, your loved one, to receive tuition assistance to get their degree in nursing. That's number 1. So there are scholarships and programs available. We had 2 applicants. We want more than 2 applicants. We want to be able to fund anywhere from 2 to 5. And so please make an application. Your counselor will know about it. We will be publishing information well in advance of that. There'll be an application process online at hillsdalehospital.com. If you're listening today and you are considering going into nursing and you are a junior or a senior, this is the program for you to get involved with. All right. If you're listening today, or if you're a loved one listening today and you want someone to apply for an existing job to someday become a nurse, but they have to get into the field, we have that opportunity as well. We have jobs right now for certified nursing assistants. Maybe you're not a CENA, we'll put you through school to get your CENA. Maybe you want to join one of our clinics and work up through those clinics to become a leader or to get your RN degree. Those opportunities are available. Go to our website, hillsdalehospital.com. Under the careers tab, there'll be an opportunity for you to apply for those jobs. Those are entry-level jobs. Third program area is if you're an existing nurse, we would love to hear from you. This is a great place to work, not just because I say it or Meghan, the chief nursing officer, says it. Our employees say it. 95% response rate on our survey this year, independent survey. Individuals say they love working for Hillsdale Hospital. We've been receiving awards and recognition because of the overall satisfaction of our employees at Hillsdale Hospital. This is a great place to work. It's a great environment. You're helping your neighbors and your family and your friends get better. And what greater opportunity for you, what more noble task and opportunity for you to have than to serve right here in your backyard, helping those that you love the most. So this is your opportunity in the third program area. If you're a nurse who's driving 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I even know some nurses, Meghan, that are driving an hour to go work at a place. They're miserable. They're parking in parking garages and have to pay for that. And they're taking in, a ride in a bus to get to their job. And there's no satisfaction of even knowing the people that you're working with because you don't live there. You don't go to school there. You're not going to the grocery store there. Some people may like that disconnection, but a lot of people got into nursing because they want to help. And these are the people that they know. So the third program area, if you're an existing nurse and you're looking to come home, we'd love to have you. Go to our careers tab on our website. There's plenty of opportunities. Whether you are 1 year new, whether you're just graduating, or if you have 20 years experience, there is a job waiting for you right here at Hillsdale Hospital. For those of you who are considering that shift in a job, go look at our website. Look for positions, even in dietary. We've had individuals come in as a dietary aide and then later complete the nursing or complete the SENA program, later complete the nursing program, and now they're doing what they love to do and have found a passion for the rest of their life. So, Meghan, it's been great to have you on the program. We would love to have nurses apply here, right?
Absolutely.
And we would encourage you. We'll support you. We'll provide the support system needed. We'll create the environment for you to exceed and to excel in your career. So thank you, Meghan, for joining us today. It's always great to have you on the program, whether it's this or radio or the podcast, to provide your insight and really to drum up the support to get nurses at our hospital. Because without our nurses, we're not going to be staffing the beds to have the patients. And we experienced that during COVID. We had to shut down certain nursing home beds because we did not have enough staff. You've shut beds down before because we did not have enough staff. It's critical that we fill these positions. We'd love to hear from you in that. So, Meghan, thanks for joining us. For you, our listener, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your commitment to use Hillsdale Hospital the way that we have, the things that we have, and to be able to offer the specialty services from neurosurgery to vascular surgery to general surgery and everything in between is because you continue to support and utilize our services. You entrust us to take care of you during one of your most difficult and vulnerable hours, and that is when you need healthcare services. And I want to thank you for doing that. There are many ways that you can give back. Even if you don't want to join an award-winning team, you can volunteer here. Go to our website, hillsdalehospital.com. There's volunteer activities. If maybe you're retired, maybe you're like, you know what? I just need to get out of the house for a few days. There's opportunities for you outside of employment to volunteer your time. If you're looking to donate beyond your time, you can donate financially to this hospital, tax deductible. We're a not-for-profit. If you're looking to make an end-of-year contribution, mid-year contribution, consider Hillsdale Hospital. The work that we're doing to save lives each and every day in every aspect of the care that we deliver. Maybe you're looking just to say, you know what, I want to say thank you to a healthcare provider. You can find us on our website. You can find us on our Facebook and drop us a note. We'd love to hear from you. We have people that send cards. We have people that send flowers. There's just an amazing array of support that we get from our community. But sometimes it's just great to go on your Facebook account. If you know that there's a nurse that you have as a friend, thank them for their service. Thank them for the hard work that they're engaged in. This is a very tough industry, a very tough business. We see a lot of sick people. It weighs heavy on our hearts. So please, please, please take the time to do that. And then you can join us for programs like this each and every week. We try to do our live each and every week if we have a special guest. But we do have a live podcast, Rural Health Today. Wherever you subscribe to get your podcast, please subscribe to Rural Health Today. It's important to let our voice be heard across the country, which is what we're doing right now in rural health across this country. We are advocating for what is right in healthcare. We're advocating for rural hospitals, rural communities, sustainability of those communities, and the economic development in those respective communities. We do that each and every day. And then every Friday on WCSR at 92.5 as well, we are out Buzz 102.5. We are telling our story. So wherever you hear a program like this, we have a radio program weekly where we share insights and informations to you, our listener, our supporters, about what's happening in healthcare. And I'm excited to be bringing you some updates here very soon of new services and new programs that we're going to be launching at the end of this year and into the next year. Very excited. Not going to ruin that now, but I look forward to seeing you again. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay rural health strong. Thanks for joining us today.